Hello and welcome back to Wild Sun Art Studio. My name is Robinsunne, and today, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Today we have a plethora, a range of things to show you. So this was not one of the first, but in this particular moment in my life, this was one of the first in this particular series of using a huge piece of paper to make a single page journal book and gluing them together so that there would be pockets. So here's the little tiny spine, and there's my big kind of alligator mouth. Okay, so in this one, we're talking about decoration today because in the first two videos I showed you how to actually construct one of these journals. So in this one I used, well, you'll recognize this from the postcarding videos. Which one was this? I think this was number 10, where I did paint on paper. So this is just acrylic paint, and it's just a little snippet that I had left over. And here is a paper cut, and here's some words in a faux postage. So there are a lot of words in this particular journal. There are a lot of paper cuts. Here's some more painted paper with the really exquisite little seaweed patterns that I showed you how to make in that postcarding video. Here is a rubber stamp postcard. That was video 11, I think. Here's watercolor, which is another postcarding video. I think it was like number 3. It was number 3. This is just some washi tape that I sort of lined up together. And I wanted to show you these. I made these, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and I just really like them. They are a zigzag fold, and I put a pocket here on the front with a little tag. And if you open it up this way, there's some little papers in here to be a journal. And if you open it this way, there are some little papers in here to be a journal. More paper cuts, watercolor. This was a watercolor postcard that I made in postcarding number 3, and it just seemed like there was a face in this postcard. So, has the postcard backing. Paper cuts, painted paper with little seaweeds. This is another trifold little journaling space. Inner power does indeed require daily practices of self-knowledge and tender self-care. With some sticky jewels. Another postcard, more painted paper, more little journals. We come here with an agenda to bless the world with our gifts. This is kind of interesting. I did a paper cut over a piece of paper of the same color. Really like how that worked. And I love this Hopi bear. I've always loved that shape. Oh, this was the postcarding of the the wise person in a long robe in a cave. This is the watercolor video. Number 3. Paper cut, paint with the little seaweeds. A couple more journals in here. One is a trifold, and You Are Loved. And the other one is just a regular pamphlet journal, and it's only got just the one cardstock page. And a little bit more watercolor paper, a watercolor postcard. Isn't that pretty? Looks like you're going into a cave. And paper cut and paint. Hello. And a postcard. So this was the first one, and this was one of those, just like with the yellow book that we folded just a couple days ago. This is what is it? It's a 20-inch by 25-inch-ish paper, but I only folded it in 4 and in 4 rather than 8 and 4. So it's a much bigger book, which is kind of fun. All right. And here is book 2. And I've shown you most of this book. I wanted to go over just a really quick lesson. I call these Spear Hinge Paper Cuts. So let me show you how I make those. I'm going to make this really big so that you can absolutely tell what's going on. So, Spear Hinge Paper Cut. And I call them that because they're really, you can buy metal hinges for like a door, and when they're really long like this, they're called spear hinges, and you can sort of imagine that something that long that comes to a point, it does look like the head of a spear. So that's what they call it at the hardware stores, so I figured I'd call it that too. So you take a piece of paper, fold it in half, fold it in half a second time, but fold the front piece to the front and the back piece to the back. And then do that again, fold the front to the front. If you do 3 sets of folds like this, in half, in half, in half, you will get 4. 3 folds gets you 4 like points. 1, 2, 3, 4, or spears. So one of the sides has these single pages, single folds, and the other side just has the 2 folds. So starting from the side that has the single fold, and you know what, why don't I draw this first? So you just make up this is actually very much like the spear hinge that I saw at the hardware store. So again, this is the side with the 2 folds, and you want your point to end up on the 2 fold side rather than the many papers side. So then we'll just cut that out. as you unfold, do that thing that I like to do of sort of unfolding the... I've actually seen spear hinges that look sort of like that, except they were skinnier. Let me see if I can... You really get the sort of spear concept when they're skinnier. There you go. So that can go along the edge of a... You see how this looks like, you know, just this much. Looks like the hinge on a door. So basically, that's the idea. And on this one, this is a paper punch, and this is part of a flower. This flower. So I cut off some of the petals and I got that little shape. This was one of my rubber stamps. This is one of my feathers. This is another petal, and then I kind of put it on the pale blue, cut around that. This is a 1/8 paper punch with a regular, what's that, 1/4 inch? Whatever the regular paper punch is. So, little cards. I think I'm going to do this video in 2 parts. Are not really together. They're 3 separate little tags. And they're tags back here. So, in this book, this is going to be for journaling. So, these pockets are kind of tight, and I didn't know how to put anything on this without it kind of getting smashed up by putting it in and out a lot. So I've decided that I'm going to leave them plain and just use them for journaling. I actually have an idea for this book. So I'm going to keep this one. See, this is actually a spear hinge too, even though it looks very round. This is a star paper punch. I didn't punch those. With a star rubber stamp, and I did cut that out myself. Oh, and this is one of the sideways pockets, and the other sideways pockets is down there. And I showed you this, the plastic behind the, so that the card could get in and out pretty easily. Another spear hinge. This is a hand paper stamp that I fussy cut out, and my wonderful heart. Another spear hinge paper cut. A feather. I actually was kind of hoping that they would, the little fringes here would kind of get mashed over time and show depth. So there's that card. My Maori woman. And these I just glued down. That's not a pocket. And more tags. Yes. There we go. So I have 2 more books. Rosa called these my my cliffhanger. But on the other 2 books, I want to show you some more techniques. They each have a technique that I want to show you, and I'm not going to make it inside. So we'll make this a short video and then I will do the next one after this. So, I'm feeling very wealthy in books. So today's blessing is, may we have wealth of whatever it is we need. If it's money, that's great. If it's health, a wealth of health, that's wonderful. A wealth of love from your family and friends, a wealth of something. All right, noise. There we go. Diamond sparkles of wealth. I'll see you next time. Bye.